Alrighty, yo, what's just going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94, back with another reaction video. Today, we finna react to a WWE pay-per-view so bad it should have canceled the brand split. This should be interesting. Without further ado, let's get right into it.
The show opens up with a fantastic montage of all the people that hate John Bradshaw Layfield, all set to The End Is Near by Jim Johnston. This is good. It sounds like a famous song, but no, it was just created by Jim Johnston, the WWE in-house music producer. This guy was incredible, and I hope he's a very rich man by now. The opening match is not a bad one. Remember what I told you earlier, this show is a bit of a shit sandwich? Well, this first match is a slice of bread. It's a tag title match. The champions are Rob Van Dam and Rey Mysterio, who literally only won the titles a few days earlier, so not exactly a great story going into this match. Second tag title reign for these guys. The challengers are the former champions Kenzo Suzuki and Rene Dupree. Not exactly the most memorable tag team of all time. Rob and Suzuki get us started. Rob quickly wipes him out with a kick and tags in Rey. Together they hit a move that they call the 420, and I have seen that one somewhere else recently. Nice springboard crossbody for a
I appreciate the Crash Bandicoot music in the background, though. That's legendary status right there.
two from Rey now. Suzuki aggressively turns around an Irish whip and he tags in the French Phenom. This crowd are getting all over Rene Dupree. Mysterio goes sliding on his belly like a pregnant seal, but when he turns around his head kicks off. Rene gets distracted, strutting around like a constipated goat, and Rey turns the pace on again and head scissors him onto the ropes. Kenzo Suzuki breaks up the 619, but he gets trapped on the apron. Rey tries to sunset powerbomb him to the floor, but he's too weak, so RVD dies with a thrust kick, and now Rey can hit the powerbomb. Dupree baseball slides Mysterio, but Rob Van Dam is fine and he stacks Dupree on the barrier and hits a spinning leg drop. That's just the two back in the ring. Now some tag team work from Rob and Rey. They do a monkey flip drop kick combination for a 2. The match somehow turns and Dupree hits a drop kick to Rob. Dupree can't tag out because Kenzo is still down. RVD takes back over and slingshots Dupree into Rey's seated senton. I mean, yeah, he missed it, but I'm still enjoying the teamwork in this one. Suzuki does eventually recover and Dupree hits a big time clothesline. Suzuki pulls crazy faces into the camera. He can't keep Rob isolated and Mysterio gets the lukewarm tag. Kenzo's wife, Hiroko, takes the referee so the heels can decapitate Rey across the ropes. Tori Wilson takes exception to that and she chases her away. The match isn't very interesting with the heels in full control. The most interesting move is a back suplex from Kenzo Suzuki. I get that it's Tag Team 101, but this whole thing goes on for way too long for the opening match. Draws all the energy out of the crowd. We're only 20 minutes into the show and everybody is already asleep. Finally, Dupree smashes into the ring pole and RVD has the hot tag, firing up on everyone with kicks. He hits a front slam and a split-legged moonsault for a 2 count. Rey and RVD now combine a rolling thunder and a slingshot leg drop for a 2 count. This match just keeps on going, with Rob hitting a kick to Kenzo.
I like the action.
How this was supposed to be.
I like the fast-paced action.
Both end up crushed on the ropes where they're going for a 619, but Rey doesn't even hit Kenzo with the 619, so I'm not sure what the point was. Maybe Rob was meant to do one too? RVD hits the frog splash to Dupree for the 3. There were moments to like here for sure. Mainly the moments where Rey and Rob double teamed. But the match went for like 17 minutes, which is just kind of random for a match with no story or reason for it to be so long. This match was okay. I mean, I barely liked it, but it was just a lot better than everything that was to follow it. Now this match was the bread of the pay-per-view. So think what we have to come. Let's bite into this sweaty sandwich. Next up, we have a horrible promo from an extremely young and unintimidating Daniel Puder. He says the 2 most dangerous things in this world are his left and his right hand. He's going to win this match tonight to win $1 million. Kurt
Didn't he get backstage? Did he get shitted on backstage and they made sure that he never got he lost all his momentum?
Angle will make an unscheduled appearance alongside Cobbs. He will have a random match tonight where Kurt's gold medal will be on the line. The opponent will be Santa Claus. He's handing out presents and having a good old time. Everybody is, except the Hawk. Angle has a great line here on the mic when he says Santa can't wait to get back to the North Pole with Taz and the other elves. Kurt doesn't like Santa Claus though because he's jealous that his daughter talks about Santa and not about Kurt. So here we go, Kurt Angle versus Santa Claus on pay-per-view. Kurt just throws him down quickly and hits the ankle slam. He puts on the ankle lock and grapevines it as Santa Claus taps out. Sadly, It's the highlight of the pay-per-view so far. Now a young Mike Mizanin talks about his first ever pay-per-view. He says he'll win tonight, even though he's the underdog. It's a Dixie dog fight to crown the winner of Tough Enough. Again, why is this on pay-per-view? We also get a 5-minute recap of Tough Enough where I drifted off so badly that I forgot I was even watching a WWE pay-per-view. Teddy Long comes out to waste even more time to tell us how proud he is of tonight's pay-per-view event. We are nearly 40 minutes into this pay-per-view and we've seen literally one match. Teddy Long now introduces judges for his next match. You have got to be kidding me, why is this necessary? Here comes Mike The Miz for his debut. We now go over the rules of a Dixie dog fight, and it's basically just a boxing match with 3 1-minute rounds. So it looks like we're going to be waiting even longer for our second wrestling match of the night. Basically, The Miz seems to be the far more aggressive fighter, but no knockdowns in the first round. Taz talks about the brawl rule, which gives me PTSD. The second round happens, as I completely lost the ability to concentrate. The crowd loudly boo as the second round ends. No knockout in the third round either. Teddy Long says the crowd are going to decide the winner of this match.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I always wondered what happened if they had wrestlers go into the ring and have an actual boxing match. Yeah, this should be ass.
Because they're so bored. They cheer for Daniel Puker over The Miz, so he wins. Michael Cole then tells us that this doesn't actually mean that he's won Tough Enough. Great, so this entire thing was a waste of time. In case you were wondering, Daniel Puker did eventually win Tough Enough, so they might as well have made this the way that he won. Because somebody hates me, Al Snow decides that he must interview both wrestlers about their boxing match. The Miz says he's proud that he managed to stand up to the punches. They show Puker highlights of his match. He says it was all pointless. He prefers Ultimate Fighting where he can make people snap, crackle and pop. We head backstage where Eddie Guerrero and Booker T are laughing about something. They obviously haven't been watching this show tonight. They both want to beat up Bradshaw. They will also be facing each other and The Undertaker in this match. It's a fatal 4-way. Booker T suggests that they team up tonight to take out their other 2 opponents. The Undertaker walks up behind them. Eddie smells a terrible stench and turns around to see where the smell is coming from. Nothing happens. Some crazy music plays now, and this is the Basham Brothers. Michael Cole tells us this is the only time we're going to be seeing them tonight. What a shame. They will be facing Hardcore Holly and Charlie Haas. This is an unscheduled match with no backstory.
Hey, this pay-per-view ass.
A bonus match is usually a good thing. This isn't.
Hear me good, nigga. I'm here to double down. That shit is a 2-pack of ass.
Really aggressive.
The fuck are you talking about? That shit stinks.
Do something interesting here. He hits a back suplex and he tags out. Charlie Haas hits a fireman's carry takeover to no effect. Now he hits some arm drags. I'm sorry, but it's been 55 minutes and we're watching arm drags. Can we please do something a bit more interesting?
I mean, the match just started, bro. Chill out.
You could hear a pin drop. Sometimes you can blame the crowds, but at the end of the day, you can't blame them for this. It's a random match between 4 random people, which is randomly on pay-per-view. Loud chants of boring begin as this crowd seems to start to completely turn on the show. Charlie Haas looks a lot like Chad Gable. That's the week's random Hawk observation. Haas tries to wake up the crowd with a big suplex, but this doesn't work. The crowd lightly whistle with happiness as Hardcore Holly has the tag. Hardcore beats the Bashams up all on his own for ages, but his snap slam can only get a 2. Dawn Marie and Miss Jackie have a screaming match over who loves Charlie Haas the most. It gets the best reaction of the crowd so far tonight. Hardcore Holly has apparently never seen a girl before, or heard one screaming, and he gets distracted and then he's rolled up and beaten. As the 3 count goes down, everybody is happy that it's over, except Hardcore Holly. He tells his little friend to stop worrying about girls and to use his head and not his penis. This match was horrible, boring, and shouldn't have been on pay-per-view. The next match does actually have a storyline, but everything else is still bad. Who remembers that time when Carlito debuted for the WWE and quickly took the US title from John Cena? Then Cena was randomly stabbed in a nightclub that same night. The storyline came out of nowhere because he went off to film The Marine. Cena then returned from his stabbing/film in The Marine, and Carlito's been ducking Cena ever since. He kept putting his bodyguard in the way. Cena did eventually get his title back from Carlito, but he still has to deal with the bodyguard Jesus, and that's what tonight's pay-per-view will be about. They're mainly fighting over a nightclub stabbing. This will also be a street fight for the United States title. It's John Cena who debuts a brand new spinning...
Yeah, this is when he debuted the spinner belt. Yeah. Yeah. spinner belt. The spinner US belt. I heard Carmelo Hayes said he want to bring that back. I say let him bring it back. Let Carmelo Hayes bring it back. It's only right. It's only right. John Cena not here no more. Bring it back.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, John, we're sure.
US title here versus Carlito's bodyguard Jesus. He looks like one of Las Boricuas from the Attitude Era. This is Aaron Aguilar. Imagine stabbing someone and instead of being arrested, you're rewarded with a US title shot. If you want a clue of how bad this match is about to be, Jesus would have 3 WWF matches and this is the 3rd one right here. According to internet rumours, this was supposed to be the spot going to New Jack. He was told not to talk to Vince McMahon, but he did it anyway, and soon he was thrown out the building. I mean, it would have been far more believable, sure, whatever. Carlito hilariously spits his Granny Smith apple at Cena, and Cena will take that out on Jesus. Cena beats him up for a bit until Jesus grabs an eyelash and then he slid a stick by Carlito. He hits Cena in his stab wounds, but he no-sells that. Jesus is in real trouble now. Cena goes to work with the stick, the crowd chants Cena. His arms were truly something incredible to marvel about them. Carlito is buzzing around like a pesky gnat distracting Cena, but that isn't even helping Jesus, this is a very one-sided matchup. Cena kicks Jesus over the barrier. Why did this make pay-per-view if they were just going to make it so one-sided and irrelevant? It's just essentially filler. Cena beats him up in the crowd for what feels like 20 minutes. We do finally make it back to the ring, but they needn't have bothered. Cena pumps up his trainers and hits in a very, very delayed FU for the 3. Cena then smacks out Carlito with the chain afterwards. A complete burial. Jesus didn't land a single move. Waste of time to have on a pay-per-view, not competitive in the slightest. Miss Jackie now moans at Charlie Haas in the back. He has to referee a match tonight between the 2 ladies from earlier on.
I hope so, because I'm getting tired of this. God.
Hey, baby.
Wow, calm down, Charlie. There's no need to
Hey.
She promises after she wins the match tonight, she will make it up to her boyfriend, Chad Gable Jr.
Hey, goddamn. Ain't gonna lie. I don't know who that is, but I see them things. I see them things.
Look at that ass on that bitch. Look at the titties.
Just saying, I saw some things that was jiggling. I saw some things that was jiggling, and I like it.
Let me suck your titties, baby.
Hey, I'm just saying, you know me, it's Black Queens forever, Snow Buddies never, but hear me out though. Hear me out though. That's some nice snow right there. That's some nice snow right there.
Here we go then, Dawn Marie taking on Miss Jackie. They almost seem to try and have a wrestling match in the early game, but then they just give up. Soon it almost resembles more of a boxing match than the one we saw earlier on. Dawn Marie spits on her. They do that classic spot where they catfight over the referee. That seems to awaken something within Charlie Haas. Jackie shoves Dawn into him and makes a pin, but Dawn reverses the pin and sits on her face for the 3. Charlie Haas grabs the mic and says he's tired of everything. I know how he feels. He's sick of the rumours that he's been having affairs, but then he reveals that it's actually true, he is having an affair with Dawn Marie. He loves Jackie, but he's not in love with her, and Jackie is like making love to a dead wet fish. Then Charlie Haas proposes to Dawn Marie, but says she's a slut and he wouldn't marry either of them. They should kiss each other instead. Why did they do this? What a weird segment, who did this benefit? The Big Shoe is stomping down the hall, making out with Joy Giovanni. Wow, 2 WWE women in a row that I forgot existed. The next match will be a 3-on-1 handicap match. Kurt Angle, Mark Jindrak and Luther Reigns, not related to Roman Reigns, versus the Big Shoe. This one was also set up just 1 week earlier. We start with Mark Jindrak posing at the Big Show for ages. Show then shuts him up straight away, almost dragging his arm out of the socket by lifting him overhead. Jindrak gets beat up for a while and he's basically reduced to tears, so he tags in Kurt. Angle is shoved over a couple of times, so Luther joins the match. The heels eventually cheat and they barge down the Big Show. Mark Jindrak pounds on the Big Show and hits a nice dropkick. Jindrak and Reigns hit a double suplex. Kurt spends most of the match hiding, so it doesn't help the match quality. Big Show hits the alley-oop on Jindrak, which was a welcome addition to the match. Luther Reigns flies out of the ring with it looking like an embarrassing botch. Kurt Angle does manage to hit the ankle slam here, but the Big Show fights off the ankle lock. The ref just seems to let the heels double team most of this match. Luther Reigns eats a big boot, and then Kurt eats one too as he's carrying steel steps. The Big Show randomly hits an F5 to Mark Jindrak to win this match. I guess a choke slam was too boring. The crowd are in a stunned silence. What are we watching here? Funaki will now interview himself. He keeps running back and forth. He says he's going to win his match tonight. He's then interrupted by Spike Dudley. Spike says nobody can take his cruiserweight title. Funaki tells a knock-knock joke. Who's there? Armageddon. Armageddon your title. It's Funaki versus Spike Dudley. On pay-per-view. In the semi-main event. My nappy is full. Funaki sends Spike out of the ring and he baseball slides Spike away. I've never in all my years watching wrestling heard such a quiet arena. There's just nothing to be excited for. Back in the ring, and Funaki throws Spike across the ring. They fight on the top rope where Spike Dudley suplexes Funaki out of the ring. It feels like one of the biggest moments of the show. Spike tries to get a count-out win as the crowd chant boring. He doesn't get it. Funaki finally gets a positive noise out of the crowd after a double stomp. Funaki empties his locker as he tries his best to beat Spike with a bulldog and an enziguri. The crowd loudly boo at the 2 count. Taz is really confused at their booing. It's because they want the match to end, it's boring. A diving crossbody doesn't get the job done either. Spike avoids a tornado DDT out of the corner and he headbutts Funaki in the gut. The crowd chant boring once again. They seem to botch a sunset flip and then Funaki just falls back on Spike for a 3 count. That's how Funaki wins the Cruiserweight title.
This shit is trash.
Funaki hugs Taz. He is the most excited man in the building. You know, when you think back about all the wrestling you've seen over the years, you think about WCW Cruiserweight matches from the 90s, then you watch this match and you think, God, this sucked. What's the main event left? In the locker room, John Bradshaw Layfield gets told by his cabinet how much they have his back tonight, despite being against the odds. They are all banned from ringside tonight, but they try to pep him up. He shares a hug with Orlando Jordan before he heads off. It's actually rather wholesome. John Bradshaw Layfield defends his title against Booker T, Eddie Guerrero, and The Undertaker. So this will be the other slice of bread. Bradshaw moans forever about how unfair this match is. He thinks it's unfair. Some people paid $40 to watch this. Talk about unfair.
Exactly.
The dead man causes devastation with Bradshaw hiding on the outside. He tries to steal a pin after an Undertaker big boot, but the ref can't even be bothered to count the pin. Poor Booker T, he has to stay down for 8 seconds until the ref finally starts counting. Talk about unfair, Bradshaw had the match won. He quickly runs away again. Everybody is scared of The Undertaker, but the guys actually hate Bradshaw more than their fear of The Undertaker, so they triple team on him for a while. They watch on as the dead man handles his business. Then Guerrero and Booker team up on The Undertaker, which gets loudly booed. Eddie Guerrero looks like Popeye ate all the extra spinach here. Booker T and Eddie keep double teaming whilst JBL dumps near Snappy of Fear. Bradshaw tries to sneak attack Eddie and he hits a suplex before Booker T returns. Booker holds JBL still for a dropkick. The Undertaker is back for a moment before Booker kicks him off the apron. Booker with a side slam on Bradshaw now into the Eddie senton. Booker and Eddie almost have a fallout of Bradshaw trying to sneak a pin once again. The Taker is back with a Fury. Undertaker hits a big side slam to Bradshaw and a DDT to Booker. The match starts ramping up on the outside with the moves becoming more and more hard hitting. Bradshaw fails to powerbomb Taker for a table and he's back body dropped on the outside. And back in the ring, Taker misses a big boot on Booker. Bradshaw frantically tries to beat Booker with a net breaker, which isn't enough. Bradshaw is starting to settle into this match. The Undertaker hits a spinebuster to Booker, which isn't really a move you'd normally associate with the dead man.
Exactly.
Eddie Guerrero tries to interrupt Old School, but Taker boots him away on the top rope. It looked like we were about to get another Sid in WCW issue there. But no, Taker just goes back to hitting Old School to Booker. Now Taker hits a flatliner to Booker. Eddie has to make the save. He pays for that, with Taker aggressively hurling him from the ring.
Damn.
Eddie begs for mercy, which doesn't help him. Taker delivers a leg drop to him across the apron. Bradshaw gets rid of him with a clothesline from hell. Eddie Guerrero randomly introduces a ladder into this match. He puts it to good use on the Taker's skull. Booker starts throwing kicks at everybody and he holds the ring. He hits the scissors kick to Eddie Guerrero, but he takes too long to cover and Eddie kicks out. The fight starts heating up again on the outside. Bradshaw powerbombs Booker on the table, which doesn't break, so he drops an elbow to crush the table through. Undertaker decides to show Bradshaw how a powerbomb for a table is truly executed. Well, they'll both be gone for a while now, surely. Eddie Guerrero plays dead in the ring. Taker picks him up with a tombstone. Eddie wakes up straight away, but to no avail as Taker just grabs him and hits the chokeslam. That was dumb. Taker picks him up for the last ride, but somehow Guerrero gets the title belt in his hands and he slaps Taker in the head with it. Eddie hits the frog splash. He scrambles to the other corner and hits another frog splash. The dead man kicks out and he sits up straight away. The Hawk thought it was over. Eddie kicks Taker in the nutsack and he brings the ladder into the ring. This proves more effective on the dead man. Eddie now climbs up the ladder and he hits a frog splash to the Taker. He takes too long with the pin, and this time Bradshaw drags the referee out of the ring. Eddie's realising now that he can't beat the Undertaker, so instead he bashes him out of the ring. Now Bradshaw runs into the ladder and Eddie hits the Three Amigos for a 2 count. Booker T comes back to the match and he hits the scissors kick on Bradshaw. This is a really nice match. Taker nails a snake eyes and a big boot to Eddie. He chokeslams all 3 of the guys and it seems like he's about to win. JBL has certainly got the least amount of offense in here, which is usually forecasting something. Taker is about to give him a tombstone piledriver when Hayden.
Oh yeah, I remember this now. Yeah,
spinning side slam on the dead man.
Hayden right.
Can't steal the pin on
it all up.
The Undertaker sits up with Bradshaw filling his thong. But Heidenreich is back and he drags the Taker outside to the floor. The camera misses it, but Bradshaw hits the clothesline from hell and that's the finish to the match. A very nice match, and it's a shame it was on such a poor show, because it means nobody will ever view this match or have anything nice to say about it, because you have to sit through 2 hours of what is essentially a bad episode of SmackDown in order to reach this match. Overall, Armageddon 2004 is appalling. I didn't even like the first match very much, but it was just better than almost everything else on the show. In my eyes, this is a one-match show. It took almost an hour for us to start the second wrestling match. So much filler nonsense and terrible stuff. It was an unbearable show, and for that reason it gets a 2 out of 10 from the Hawk. I'd rather stick my head down a Samoan slash zone than ever watch this show ever again. And if you don't agree with that, I'll beat you now and I'll beat you then. I didn't even like the first match very much, but it was just better than almost everything else on the show. In my eyes, this is a one-match show. It took almost an hour for us to start the second wrestling match. So much filler nonsense and terrible stuff. It was an unbearable show, and for that reason it gets a 2 out of 10 from the Hawk. I'd rather stick my head down a Samoan slash zone than ever watch this show ever again.
Okay, you already said this. Alright, so I guess you have audio issues and you kept repeating yourself. Alright, cool. But anyways, though, that's just gonna about do it for this one. Most definitely, man. This was a terrible pay-per-view. Oh my god, this was terrible. Trash ass pay-per-view. Throw this shit in the trash and burn it. Delete that shit forever.
Delete all that shit. Delete all that shit. That's playing with you, Peggy.
But anyway, so that's just gonna about do it for this one. I will see you all in the next video. Till then, peace.